Between peace and opinion lies philosophy in the infinite perception.
Act 2. Rising action.
The journeyman only sees his immediate goal and often misses much of significance, such as love, around him, but he is content with his purpose, so he will continue in feel alone, but every day the pain of wanting to be with me, with someone to come and say, never waking up alone and depressed in the gray rainy day again.
Still busy trying to disarm that.
I'll call him again.
Well, I never have enough. If the majority of their lives away for years to lift heavy boxes.
The wind.
Outside of the demolished control tower in a blue corridor by a stairwell, Rex and the alien Quats regroup with their hostage, Starch Cop Reg, who is in desperate need of medical attention. Gecko, the alien lizard Quats. Lita holds the human prisoner at gunpoint and turns to his cohort.
And like elements adapting to their environment of where they're...
He's your brother now, Gecko says, as he tosses Rich everything over Rex.
Achieved in a realm of changing area.
You want me to carry him?
If he is overcome, then he is made to decompose as waste.
He's bleeding all over the place. Let's drag him, brought him to the alien lizard Quad ship. Just slither away. We've got to get out of this place before the Star Cops find us. Yeah.
I'm going to the Great Book. What? You mean that bursting upheaval of a...
Carry him like he's your brother. That's an order. We're going up to the roof with the remaining Quads because my communications told me Beacon is blinking. And the signal is too weak down here. You two... Yes, and the Quads. Have him carry the prisoner up to the roof. Quick.
Natural for you as a boy. You have such an awesome thing because your realization of my position would be premature. But you must... For youth like you...
Fellow Gwaltz, follow me.
I have realized.
Rex, bring the prisoner and set him down here in the center of the whole roof. Come on.
That is the nature of things. The nature of death.
Look at what we have here.
Do reconsider. For myself, being a compassionate person does feel for you. Goodbye for now. Perhaps I will see you later on during my journey. Later on your journey? During my journey. Later on your journey.
it looks like one. Let's stay from Miami. Come on.
On the contrary, my friend.
That might be our ticket out of here. Get it off that human to see if it still works. Oh, yeah. Looks like the start button got jammed and shut itself off. Okay. Yeah, master. I got it. Got the jetpack. Can you fix it? Well, I might have to take the control panel apart and reroute the ignition wiring. But it'll take some time. Time is a luxury we do not have. Hurry before the Star Cops find us. Get it done now. I'm receiving a stronger signal from Neutron and Pons in our escape spaceship pod. It's coming from out there in the desert of this planet. We have to hurry before the Star Cops get here. I know. Well, we're working as fast as I can. Can't work there under pressure.
Is infinite.
Yeah.
This I do not understand, but you may do as you please.
The homing beacon definitely says that we have to go west.
All in good time. And so, I hope you farewell.
Out beyond those red rocky plateaus in the desert of Zeon. We want to rendezvous with our alien crew. When I need that pack to escape. I hear them coming. That's them. Yeah, here are the wires we need. Could everyone just back off, please? I could do this a lot easier without your tentacles in the way. Hey, buzz off. Neutron and Pons will be pleased with the Earthling specimen. What? Bring him here to me. At once. But I have to know, why do you care so much for this human, Gecko? Neutron and Pons have big plans for him. Trust me. And do it if you know it's good for you. Yeah. You should cut back on the bleeding. We must keep you fit, simply fit enough to get you on the ship. Almost done with that jetpack. Hurry up, we have to get out of here, Rex. Soon the ship will be here. Not so fast, Gecko. What? Hey, I have to ask you where you think you're taking our Star Cop officer over there. He's not just Star Cop officer, he's just a prisoner to you. No, you think you're going somewhere? Oh. No. Just then, 3 aliens surrounding Gecko and Rex turn around and immediately open fire. Our commander, Starfire, Max, at the laser rifles. Yeah.
Infinity. In anything.
And that back over to me now. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I thought we were friends. Give me the jetpack. Oh. Aliens and quads will telepathically do what I tell them. Should hand it over, they'll take it from you. Now bring it here to me. Look at him.
Many say life is infinite.
It's strange. But take it from here.
So what is the non-living object? Can non-living things be the infinite?
Even so, the original particles will always exist somewhere. Life has an end, but their end exists continuously in a stationary form on Earth, as far as we know. Maybe only non-living things exist continuously, where living growing things continuously. In that case, a rock is infinite.
Teleport me up. Teleport me up. Team up the human. Give up your prisoner.
All renewing thing. Or is the infinite something that will always exist in reality as one solid, solitary form? Everything is infinite in one form or another.
Pawns and Nugatron, it was nice of you to rescue me at this perfect instant. You have my gratitude and loyalty, of course. I have brought you a prisoner.
It remains as one.
Behold. Splendid. It's good to see you again also. And here is that with you. Isn't that a bloody human? Yes, sir. You always said you needed a test subject for your new spy bug project. Well, granted you'll have to stitch this one up with some surgery and wipe his memory so he won't accidentally reveal anything about us if he survives, but I promised the human I'd return him. Yes, splendid. Now, proceed. On with the procedure. Prepare to implant the microchip in his brain so we can once again use his human senses to spy on those Starcom base and infiltrate our way. And once he goes back to return to his friends, he'll unknowingly reveal the security code to us while we listen through the implant in his brain that will record every conversation. Brilliant. We can send him back alive and he won't even know why after he recovers on board our ship. But it will give us the chance to finally hear every little detail about what our enemies in the Zeon Colony are up to exactly. Of course, Nugatron occurs. Once I implant the electric bug in his brain, it will record and transmit everything he experiences back to our ship, where we can monitor the humans through him from our safely remote distance. Ah, brilliant. Yes, but that's brilliant.
I know no man is alone.
Good work.
The scattered fables. On to
Previously on the Zeon Colony. Mayday, mayday, this is Lieutenant Max Dasball. Crash landing, the planet Zeon. Preparing to eject my escape pod. She's low now. Anarchy! Prisoners set free!
the spaceport hangar station looked like a pyramid-shaped metal tent out in the middle of planet Zeon's red desert. It glittered with gold and green metallic paint from the capital city of Zox's logo. It was a circular symbol with symmetrical equality. The spaceport hangar station looked like a pyramid-shaped metal tent out in the middle of...
Tall purple and skinny blue aliens with elongated oval brains and insect eyes met there between flights. One telepathically sensed Crimson's anguish and began communicating with him through extrasensory perception. The other two Star Cops who were guarding couldn't hear the aliens' thoughts like Crimson could. Oh my goodness! Who's that? Lieutenant... Star Cop. He's crash landed. We have to help him.
You come from a very hypocritical planet, Crimson.
Riz! Hey, don't shoot it! The aliens can telepathically communicating with me. It's mine. Quick, get on board this hyperspace super freighter. It's complete anarchy. The prisoners are going to be coming our way. Quick.
Quick, Crimson, climb on board.
All right, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. This place is complete chaos. I thought you Star Cops had some pull in the industrial world.
Crimson assumes that he... Oh. What do you mean, Crimson?
I thought you said the Star Cops could provide me with temporary vocation until I find what I really want to do in life.
Crimson says as he looks... You do realize that people will think that you're insane. Control your glitch criticisms. You do realize that people will think you're insane. You know, I better call Captain Sapphire.
Captain Starfire? He'll know what to do, yeah, right.
That's strange. This is the third time I've tried to call and I'm still getting no signal.
You're calling Commander Starfire? I don't know, maybe he's still busy trying to disarm that bomb. Oh, I have to check back. Maybe I'll have to check back to him later. Maybe the explosion we heard was the bomb. Do you think he's all right? We should check on him.
As soon as I'm done eating this sandwich, I'll call him again. But I was given explicit instructions to stay over here on this side of the Zeon in the Zox sector while they deal with Gecko and the alien gangster problem at the Galactic Gateway.
Yeah, well, I hope nothing bad happened to him. It's a dangerous planet. That's why we cannot let it corrupt a peaceful society. Don't you understand by now why the Gnome Kingdom has to remain hidden? We can't let the same violent war spread across the galaxy and threaten people's lives like your commanders.
I'm sure he'll be alright. He's the most resourceful star cop I know. Don't worry, I'll check on him. In the meantime, you need to come up with a plan to get a job because you're not my entire responsibility.
I've had many jobs in the Zeon Colony before, but every time I apply now, the computer just rejects me and says I'm not in the system. It just looks for excuses. I can't afford to keep starting over and over again. Corporations are the reason I'm overworked and underpaid. That's why they're slowly killing me and driving me more insane, more than anything else. The ironic thing is that they don't need my money nearly as much as I do in order to survive when they raise the cost of living indefinitely. They have plenty while I never have enough. If the majority of my money goes towards paying corporations for the bills they charge me to exist, then I'm not really working to empower myself. I'm inadvertently working to support the corporations instead, unfortunately. Who works harder? Is it the chief executive officer or the owner of the corporation who reaps the profits and makes millions a year to sit back in the office and make decisions while the physical labor and lowest paid employees who work for their lives away for years to lift heavy boxes, strain their bodies, but barely get enough paid to survive alone. No matter how much energy they spend, survival shouldn't be made into a competition all of the time.
Chris.
That's Crimson. Nobody's called me Chris in a long time. Wait
Wait a minute. Glitch finished his...
You're finishing your guap burger? You're sipping your celestial soda.
Outside of the demolished control tower in a blue corridor by a stairwell, Rex and the alien hostage, starch cop Reg, who is in desperate need of medical attention. Gecko, the alien lizard Guats. Lita.
Vessels, constricting and relinquishing. Like blood vessels, constricting and relinquishing. Go to the Zeon Colony. Go to the Zeon Colony. Go to the Zeon Colony. Reg, go to the Zeon Colony. Yes. Beyond the outskirts of the red desert, the swirling alien quad ship drops unconscious Reg off in the middle of Zeon. The sun was blowing as pawns of Nugatron flew away in the alien cruiser from the scene in a hurry. It had surgically implanted a tracking microchip in Reg's brain. Its signal was set to wipe out his memory of the aliens' pawns. Nugatron had also taken the liberty to dress Reg's wounds from the previous laser battle as a good gesture towards the humans upon his return after the alien ship flew away. Reg woke up in the middle of a sandstorm, wondering why his legs felt so faint. Even though the windy desert blew loudly against his head, all he could hear was a repeating phrase over and over, as if echoing through his brain infinitely. Return to the Zeon Colony, straight ahead. Return to the Zeon Colony, Reg. Return to the Zeon Colony, straight ahead. No one must return to the Zeon Colony, straight ahead. Yes, the Zeon Colony, straight ahead. Return. Return to the Zeon Colony. Straight ahead.
The aliens, high up above in hyperspace, become hysterical as they watch Captain Ridge's actions and ravel their plans for the microchip guidance commands they send to his brain. Signal from their receiving end of the microchip transmitter showed up on their video screen. The signal from which corresponded to the microchip in Reg's brain. They could see what he was seeing and feeling through the remote transmitter. The signal from their receiving end of the microchip transmitter showed up on their video screen, which corresponded with what Reg saw and thought within the Zeon Colony. The Zeon Colony's maximum security control tower housed all of the passwords to the prison colony. The aliens were anxious to get these codes and liberate their fellow species, which were imprisoned within the Zeon complex by the Star Cops long ago. They were persecuted for their beliefs about freedom to explore their minds through a new alien religion. From afar, the alien Nezquad Kadim soon realized that Reg is going to blow their cover, whether he realizes it or not, accidentally or intentionally. Uh-oh, Barnes, the alien says. Panics. We have to blow up his brain.
Gesture towards the humans upon his return.
Wait and see how this turns out. Did you plant the bomb near the intergalactic transdimensional portal? Yes.
I woke up in the middle of a sandstorm wondering...
Part of the galaxy before we Star Cops discover us. Yeah, they planted the bomb in the transdimensional portal, but what that cause a paradox. Yeah, thus we get out of here, it will blow up our only transdimension gateway back home. We might...
His legs to felt the thing.
Yes, we must prepare to flee this sector of the galaxy. The Star Cops discover us, yeah. They planted the bomb in the transdimensional portal, but what that...
His legs.
Pardons the cyborg alien panics on board the spacecraft as he looks at his boss. We have to blow the chip in his brain, Niggatron explains, as he explains their last resort plan to his cohort Pons. Down there, and they're going to find out about us down there, and if to explore the internal complex of Zeon's new will be our last chance to explore the internal complex of Zeon's new maximum security systems. We'll have to abort the mission and activate the self-destruct mode. But sire, that will make Master Gecko and his Kadeems most displeased with us. Yeah. Abort, that's an order. Abort the mission before the Star Cops discover us and our trans-dimensional portal gets blown up. Abort. That's what there is left to do. You must look within yourself. Find your peace of mind. Like the Gnome King and I. Yeah. Couldn't find. Look deep within your mind, and you'll find peace of mind. He's right. He's right, Gnome. You are not... Oh, I'm the all-powerful gnome. Put down your weapon and welcome yourself back home to the castle. Something is monitoring our presence. What is it?
some wisdom, some trans-dimensional gnome castle wisdom. Yes, we must all return in peace. Well said, Master Gnome King. Now come. Yes, listen to the wise master. I have spoken. There are many translucent soul visions. There are many translucent soul visions.
Equity of all.
No, I have not come here to destroy. No, I have not come here to destroy. I realize that if we lose our sense of self, there's nothing more else that we can lose. For it is the fear of failure and rejection that causes us to lose ourself. Yes, that you won't regret. If you can live a life that you won't forget, I'm glad you're here, otherwise I would disappear into an invisible atmosphere that disintegrates through time and space. Welcome to the Gnome King, you are part of our race. Now I must return to my dimension of time and space. I understand now. I am a peaceful wizard gnome anyhow.
Many others many will fail. I prevail. There's things for sale. You cannot sail in comparison. You pale. Stale, old, like rolled gold, told, sold, gold. Understanding, communication to sanity. We have come miles.
Infinity. But can anything exist in the infinite? Many say life is infinite. Guess it continues to grow, but there is an end to every living thing to make room for another. So what if the non-living objects, even if they are destroyed, they are only rearranged, so their original particles will always exist somewhere. Life has
an end, but their end exists continuously in a stationary form on Earth, as far as we know. Maybe only non-living things exist continuously, where the living, growing things continue to cease. In that case, a rock is infinite. How do you define the infinite, though? Is the infinite something that continues to grow, which doesn't exist since all life ends sometime?
Planet Zeon. Meanwhile, on planet Zeon.
Captain, I'm picking up a subspace distress call.
Oh, get those alien lizard wats if it's the last thing I do. That's right. It's our mission on Zeon. Secure the prison complex. Oh, get secure the prison complex. Secure theft. Protect yourself. Talk to Mindbender. What is that?
Let's get it. Let him go. It's Commander Starfire.
Halt! Is this a Star Cops? Oh. Secure premises! Secure the premises! Out in Zeon's red desert. People generally live long.
Into the stars.
Well, meanwhile, on the Zeon Colony.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I need to scan your barcode. Now that is strange. There must be something wrong with the computer banks where they didn't scan you correctly. We might have to read catalog, but I have to ask the captain about that. And once again, he's a difficult man to get a hold of these days. We have to get you approved with a licensed sergeant doctor.
The licensed sergeant doctor? I didn't even want them to put this damn barcode tattoo on my hand in the first place. Anyway, you can't fit me for a job. Don't I have freedom of choice in what I decide what to do, or I have to be at the mercy of what you tell me to do? Maybe you choose something for me to do that I'm not qualified, or something that I could be so much more valuable to you doing something else than you. Seriously, I did not want this barcode thing on my hand. Sounds like your technological standards for society have become so oppressively inhumane that this futuristic society has brought on its own problems. Things wouldn't be so complicated if you didn't rely on computers for everything. Rejection from women in the economic workforce system have alienated me and driven me more insane than anything else possibly could, no matter what other pollutants my mind may or may not have encountered in this environment. There needs to be more room for compassion to grow in our cold industrialized society. I do not create the economic problems of society, but I become a victim of poverty the more I buy into their system. They refuse to support the rich, and they will deny my right to earn a living. It seems like the harder I work, the more I'm working to empower them, and it's not making enough money to survive no matter how hard or how much I work anyway.
You should be happy with any job you can find, considering they're so scarce these days.
You're saying I should just accept inhumane living conditions and be thankful for having a job no matter how decrepit it is, when being overworked and underpaid is the true cause of all my pain and suffering? It's like a nightmare I cannot wake up from, and nobody believes me when I try to warn the silent majority that they are slaves to poverty, and economic slavery is inhumane. Maybe they are in denial, or maybe they're just afraid to speak out against the establishment from fear of retribution. You wonder why I have such a defeatist attitude? Look around you. My ultimate fear is coming true. The second I buy into the notion that I should accept things for how they are instead of rebelling in order to change things for the better, is the second I let the system take advantage of me. If I don't speak up for my rights, then I lose them.
The more you complain, the less you complain, the less likely people will listen. And if you do listen, then they'll be less sympathetic to your situation and more liable to complain about what bothers them.
Okay, that's... They can't tell me how to feel, no matter how much I want to give up on the struggle to survive sometimes.
Crimson, why are you so depressed and self-destructive?
Weren't you listening? We've already established that the source of my depression is a direct result of me not being able to find a way to make a full-time living with my talents in art, music, and video production that have any benefits.
You get a prescription for your depression. They make medication for that, you know, once you find a job and qualify.
You're missing the point. It's too expensive. Besides, I've gone to psychiatrists before, and they were too quick to assume they could medicate my depression instead of addressing the real source of my unhappiness that cannot be changed, since it's so deeply connected with economic issues of society. We're just guinea pigs to the medical establishment. They prescribed me Xylon, which was later found to be the cause of suicidal tendencies in young adults. They think that they know everything, but they don't. It's outrageous how society expects us to trust random strangers with our lives almost on a daily basis. The only substance that cured my depression was made illegal decades ago. I found this out accidentally through the government's psychological seed cure interrogation process when they dosed me with WOW. It was called World of Wonders because it enabled me to appreciate the beauty in life through a newly refreshed perspective. You were trying to get me to reveal the location of the planet of the gnomes, and the whole it's an artistic utopian society where people are not necessarily just free to expand their minds with various indicative substances and plant derivatives, but they're also free to be creative and share ideas peacefully because a violent force hasn't come in and tried to control it, you know, for greed and materialistic possession. That's why I can't reveal the location even under the interrogation process of the planet of the gnomes, because if violence comes into the utopian society, it'll ruin the whole peaceful collaboration of the utopian society once people try to wage war for materialistic gain. It was also the only thing that made the suicidal thoughts cease when I learned to appreciate how fragile and temporary life is, and it helped me see that we were meant to enjoy things more than an industrialized society usually allows. Then the government declared it too unpredictable and made it illegal after further experimentation, showed increased rates of anxiety in some subjects and antisocial behavior. The only thing I started to worry about was running out of time. We all have such a limited amount of time to make a difference in this world that it's naturally going to be a source of anxiety. They also found that WOW, World of Wonders, the psychological seed cure they developed, which the ingredients were classified, they would not tell me, which ended up being the psychic substance, helped people with schizophrenia become more coherent, and it started to be recognized as an effective treatment for extremely powerful migraine headaches and manic depression. And inspiration comes from pain as well as pleasure. I always run out of time, money, energy, and no matter how hard or fast I work, but I never run out of inspiration, and that's why I need a job that appreciates my creativity. If only I could get paid for my inspiration.
To be realistic, Crimson, the only jobs we can get you are start-up security positions.
Well done.
Oh, jeezle. if it's based on...
I wonder what happens.
I don't need anyone to make my decisions for me. The medical establishment doesn't realize that it's the real problem if it's based on greed and population control. People think drug dealers are so bad, but you can tell them no and they'll walk away because it's too much of a risk to waste their time on someone who doesn't want their product. But the real drug dealers are the corporations that push their advertising agendas on the medical establishment. They care more about profits than the people's health and well-being. If you tell them no, they don't stop, even when they have an invested interest in what they're doing, even if they haven't researched all the ramifications. And they get your money because they leave you with no other choice. It's my body, so it should be my decision alone what substances I'm going to consume. However, they take away that right to decide with freedom of choice by making things legal for no reason other than financial gain.
Can I get you to talk about something else for a change? Talk about something else for a change besides your conspiracy theories? I'm not out to harm you. You think everyone is against you?
I can't afford to let myself become angry or bitter about rejection because I'll have to face the harsh reality of loneliness anyway, no matter how much I try to escape. Zeon's psychological treatments and medications are only a temporary escape, not a solution. It's like they're a looming bully. They think they know what's best for me, but they don't really know for me sure, and the best things since they don't have to live my life, so why should I trust them when they don't care? I feel like a bug being pressed down the ground by a giant alien green thumb. I'm allowed to get up for a little while just to look around, but not to leave, and I'm just stuck there. Unhappily in a distant colony. Once I see the other life over the cliff, I'm picked up by the omnipotent thumb and forced back into the ground before I can even formulate a plan on how to escape to the free colony next time I ever get a chance to see what freedom looks like again.
Maybe you're more unappreciated than underpaid.
I know, tell me about it. An artist, musician, poet, cameraman, writer, all in one like me would be a bargain for the entertainment industry. I'm a one-man talent show. They could save money by letting me record the soundtrack and do the artwork myself for the set design instead of having to outsource the job to less realistic-looking creations by computers and monotonously synthetic digital images. Please help me get that job. I'll be eternally more valuable to society as an individual who can think and make humane decisions instead of a robot limited to the same types of programming. Society would be more grateful if the industrialization of our world didn't prevent me from being more compassionate and helpful. Oh, that reminds me, Glitch. Am I your prisoner?
What do you mean now, Crimson?
Well, if I don't want to become a star cop, then I'm free to go, right?
No, you little... You're free to starve if you don't have a job.
I need a lawyer because I'm pretty sure that I'm still well within my rights to know what I've been charged with, or you can't keep me here and I can leave any time.
You couldn't afford a lawyer right now because you're unemployed, and I doubt you're going to jump out of this hover car while we're in flight, so that puts me in charge for now. I'm trying to help you find employment. Relax. It's just that most of the better paying careers with benefits are star cop positions in senior chief executive offices.
Please spare me the lecture. If I were in charge, I'd make it a law that any college graduate who has paid the bureaucratic system for an education should be guaranteed a position after graduation in the field of study that student specialized in, or another job that would financially reward the graduate slightly more than a non-graduate, at least for comparable skills, so the college experience doesn't end up being a waste of time, funds, and resources. Employers should be expected to pay college graduates more than minimum wage for a job that requires more skills in an entry-level position. I'd make it so teachers, poets, artists, musicians, and philosophers could be paid hourly for their thoughts if they have more to contribute for the cultural evolution of society. And truly talented people could earn almost as much money, if not more, as most famous celebrities. Some worked hard to get into the business and sacrificed almost everything, while others inherited such power through self-proclaimed ignorant attitudes of entitlement by traditions of royalty. Just because someone is rich and powerful does not necessarily mean that they are intelligent or trustworthy when making decisions for the rest of humanity. I make it so a person has to go through a psychological test in order to gain access to a gun, or maybe a drug test screening for some jobs, but not all of them, depending on which skills were utilized more or less. Maybe the owner who built the businesses from the scratch deserves to make more than the average lower income level worker, but there is a social responsibility that the employer inherits to ensure that the workers aren't exploited by not being paid enough to exist alone. This is necessary in order to keep the workers happy and businesses running smoothly, but they shouldn't charge more for their products than the average worker at their store could afford. Maybe a background check would be required for security jobs, but not necessarily for physical labor jobs that need more manpower than individual skills. But if a person's putting extra strain on their body, they should be paid a little bit more than a person who sits there and doesn't risk themselves getting hurt. We have to think in practical terms before we think big. Everyone needs options to exist, and we can't make standards so oppressive that they disregard large parts of the population. People are a natural resource.
You're You're thinking in small terms, Crimson. Let's go to try and contact the boss and see what he says we should do.
I was afraid you'd say that. What's that?
Incoming call.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, that is unfortunate. Radiation contamination understood, sir. I'm turning around now.
What is it, Glitch?
That was my new boss, Blaze. He said that Captain Starfire, my friend Nick, and the others from my precinct are all dead. They were killed in the explosion. I guess they couldn't stop the bomb in time. I'm the last one left of my entire Star Cop unit.
Wow. Oh my god, that's horrible. What about Max? Are there any survivors?
Don't know anything yet. You don't even know if Max or anyone got through there before the gate blew up. It's quarantined for contamination from radiation, so we have to go back to the city of Zox anyways.
Modern ultra-techno society.
Wow, that's a tragic blow to the Zeon Colony's Star Cop Patrol. Will there be a memorial service?
So I'll see if you're invited.
Thanks. I'd like to go. They were, after all, just doing their jobs.
Let's go home, wherever that is, Crimson.
I've been moved around by others so much in my life that I can't even keep track of where I belong anymore.
Drop you off somewhere then, I guess. Unless you wanted to stay here.
I don't want to inconvenience you anymore. I'm tired of being a burden. Nobody is perfect all the time, but everything has a consequence. Who are we to judge? If we can plan our consequences, then we control our fear of the unknown. Some people respond to fear with panic, while others react to fear with aggression. But once you realize that fear is the only real enemy, then it has no power over you if you can learn to not react to fear with any negativity at all.
Smart person to play dumb. It takes a smart person to know when to play dumb.
What exactly are you referring to, Glitch?
That was my new boss. They call him Blaze at the office, and he likes glazed donuts. So we made a funny rap song about him that goes, Blaze craze, what's the new phase? When you're tugging around in a paisley haze, hold your breath and contemplate alternate realities.
I don't get it.
It's an inside Star Cop joke that you wouldn't understand.
I know, it's just a figure of speech. While money remains the same limited symbol of slavery and the root of all evil. It has been said billions of times before. That's why there needs to be a better way to survive, and I'll figure out an alternative if I have to die trying. What do I do when nobody cares about my college degree enough to pay me what I need to survive for it anyway? No matter where I go, no amount of hard work ever seems to be good enough, especially when you're a perfectionist. Perfectionists are their own worst enemies. I can't blame myself any longer. I did what society told me to do, and none of it works well enough to make a stable living. I just wish people wanted my artwork as much as they want money. If I could trade artwork instead of money to survive, then I would have it made. I'm no stranger to hard work. After all, I've proven my work ethic time and time again with 27 different jobs. And the fact that I earn a college degree is proof that I'm not an idiot.
Don't beat yourself up. I need to do that. Don't beat yourself up over it. You'll find something better out there. It's only a matter of time before someone appreciates your full potential enough to compensate you financially for your skills. It's not your fault they haven't recognized you yet. Speaking of time, my time is limited by money, and my budget is limited by time, so they don't even pay me enough to escort you around. I would have to drop you off somewhere.
How about over here in the Mystic Zen Den district?
Are you sure? It's in kind of a rough neighborhood. I might be able to afford to pay for you to stay somewhere if you could pay me back.
It's alright. I'd rather not owe you money since you and I know there's no way of telling how long I'll be out of a job anyways. I only care about money because society expects me to care about it in order to survive. But why should I care about something that doesn't care about me? People's freedom is more important to me than making more money. Besides, your ancient Oshkosh libraries are located on the outskirts of Zox in that sector. They have sanctuaries there. Those abandoned churches were meant to be shelters for the poor.
I'll drop you off there if you think it's safe enough. But let me know if you're willing to change your mind and I'll see if I can find a better place for you to stay later.
Don't bother, I'll be fine in the destitute sanctuary of the mystic Zen Den district. It's a sanctimonious asylum. Alright.
Thanks for the lift. Call me back again so we can take on your progress tomorrow at noon. Okay. I'll get off here. See you later.
Many others.
Oh, what happened to him? I guess just another unfortunate victim of the star cop of the war. I don't really want a weapon. It's this way. Must be some sort of ancient temple. Wait, who are you? Hey, you look like me. I am you. From the future of a parallel universe. But you tried to kill me.
Always exist in reality.
The people that know me here as Wretch.
Solitary form.
I was formerly in another life. You in the past. You were suicidal. Oh wait, that does make sense. That means I was trying to kill you in the past. It was really me. You're me in the future? It's confusing. In a parallel universe. But if you'll excuse me, I must go. But if you're me from the future, then I should care about you, even though you try to kill. I'm not here to harm you. I have another mission. Must return to the Zeon complex. But come back. For a momentary period of time. And hover there for a moment before coming down in order to bounce back from place to place again. Meanwhile, down on the surface of the red hot planet Zeon, a recently abducted and banished Captain Reg. Meanwhile, down on the surface of the hot red planet, recently abducted, banished Captain Reg, formerly Starcop. Prisoner wandered through the maroon desert wind while the sun cleared up the clouds in a phosphorescent storm. Wonder what happened to you?
And why should the journeyman not strive to be achieved in a realm of this ever-changing area? Like nature, if he is overcome, then he is laid to decompose as waste by the hand of it. But if he achieves to continually adapt, he will then grow with the change and become a part of this great strength. We turn now to two men passing in the desert. One old and gray, one youthful and vigorous. Pardon me, sir. Where are you going? I'm going to the Great Rock. What? Do you mean that bursting upheaval of a maroon groove and rocky point on the plateau? That I do, sir. And if you will let me, I must go. But don't you realize that the crimson lava spew from the fluorescent yellow crystal in the middle means certain death? Yes, I do. Then why must you go? It is natural for you as a boy to fear such an awesome thing because your realization of my position would be premature. But you must understand that to all things there must be an end. So as to make room for youth like you. And this end I have realized. But you will be disintegrated and thrust out onto the earth by its crimson power. That is the nature of things, the nature of death. And so it is to become one with this great power. Please do reconsider. For myself, being a compassionate person, does feel for you. Goodbye for now. Perhaps I will see you later on in my journey. Later on your journey? You're about to end your life, much less your journey. On the contrary, my friend. Later on your journey? You're about to end your life, much less your journey. On the contrary, my friend. My life is just beginning in the new state, and my journey is infinite. This I do not understand, but you may do as you please. You will understand.
Last Daniel, follow the chime. Now so, I hope you farewell.
I hope you farewell. You too. Goodbye.
Good destiny.
Infinite. Infinity.
Life ends sometime.
Planet Zeon.